So today first we are going to talk about RMAN cloning. So first of all we need to discuss about what exactly mean by a cloning process. So whenever you are going to create a replicated copy of the existing database, then we are going to call that process as cloning. And most of the times we will be doing this to replicate the data from one server to another server, or from one database to another database. For example, let's say we have some production database where we have some tables and schemas are existing, and the application team developed some code and they want to test that code, how it is going to work and all on the data. So whenever some new code was written, or whenever there is some modification which was done to the existing code, they cannot experiment directly on the production database. Why? Because it may impact a lot. We don't know the risk of implementing that in production. So that is the reason, instead of implementing that on a production database, we will be creating a separate environment which we generally call it as a test environment. So the name itself is telling you test environments means it is for testing purpose. So whenever your code was changed and you want to see whether how the code is working and all in production, first you can test that in a test database. And to test it on a test database, the data in the test database will be or should be same as the data which is there in the production. So that means whatever the schemas that you have in production database, or whatever the tables you have, whatever the other objects you have, as it is the same objects, same schema should be there in the test database also. Now to do this, basically what we are going to do in order to achieve this is, we are going to copy the data from the production database to the test database. For this, there are several methods that we can follow. The first one being export import, or data pump. So you can take full export of the database from the production side and you can import that into the test database. So this is one way you can do it, but this will be suitable only for smaller databases. If your database size is increasing a lot, like 10 terabytes or 20 terabytes and all, export and import will take quite long time. So in such kind of scenarios, we can go for RMAN cloning. So we are going to make use of RMAN backup, and using that we are going to clone the database, or we are going to create a replicated copy. So this is the basic goal behind cloning. And there are two things that commonly used in real time. One is called refreshing the database. Second one is called cloning of the database. Now we need to understand what is the difference between these two. Refreshing the database means you want to refresh only some set of tables or some set of schemas. When you want to take export of one schema from production database and you want to import that into the test database, because you are doing it only one schema, we cannot actually call it as a cloning. So we can call that as a refreshing of the database, or refreshing of that particular schema. But when you are copying all the schemas, all the tables completely as it is, then we are going to call it as cloning of the database. So if you do transfer of the data for one or two schemas, then it is called as refreshing. If you do it for entire database, it is called as cloning. So this is a brief background that we have about cloning. So before we start with practicals, anybody is having any queries? Okay, so here what I have done is I have taken two servers. One server is with the name PowerDBA, and the other server is with the name of PC20. So one I am showing it in a white color, and other one I am showing it in black color. So the one which is in white color, assume it is a production database, and the one which is in black color is the test environment. And now what we are going to do is, in this white color window, I have already a database up and running. So that's basically a 11203 database. So this database by the name prod.db. So I am going to copy this database, or I am going to clone this database into this black color server. So that is what we are going to do now. So let us proceed with those steps, but well before that we have a query. Not exactly cloning, we cannot exactly call it as a backup. We can just say at that moment of time the data will be duplicated, and after that you are going to use that for testing purpose. Or you can call cloning as a duplicate copy. So whatever the duplicate copy of production, you are going to maintain it on another server, and you can do some testing on that. So most of the times application people will do some checking. As I said, whenever they implement some new code and all, they would be using that one. Fine. So the first requirement is, in this black screen I don't have anything installed. This is a fresh Linux server. So the first requirement is, because my target server is of 11.203 version, here also I need to install 11.203 software. I should not create any database, because database will be created with RMAN backup. I just need to install only the software. So because this is a 11G, I am going to install 11G. We don't require to set kernel parameters and all, so that will take care automatically. So what I am doing here is, I am providing the ownership on the file systems, and now I need to copy the software. So already I have the software here. So I am going to copy this to the other server. Yes, I am about to explain that one also. The server OS version and the database version should be same in order to perform RMAN cloning. Suppose your production server is having Solaris, then your target server also, or test server also, should be Solaris only. And not only Solaris, if production is 64-bit machine, the test also should be at 64-bit machine. And even the database version, like production is 11.203 or 11.201 or 10G, whatever it is, so the test also should be of the same version. So these points are very important, and if it is not there, then it would not be possible, to do that. Just give me a moment, because from server it is taking some time, so I'm just copying it directly. Yeah, even this thing we can use for DBA purpose also. For example, you want to apply a patch on the production server. So before applying the patch to the production server, you can first apply it on a test server and you can see what will be the impact of it. Or you want to upgrade your production database, instead of upgrading the production directly, you can go it and do it on a test database, and you can verify whether everything is fine or not. Yes, I mean, most of the times this will be a frequent task, like maybe monthly once or so, compulsory you would be doing this. And it also varies from project to project. Like in some projects I have seen people doing it weekly once, and in some projects I have seen where people doing it monthly once. So like that. So, but monthly once or twice compulsory you would be doing this. So both the files got copied, and even they got unzipped. So I am invoking VNC server in order to install 11G. So installation part, it's exactly same. We don't, I mean, all the steps would be same as it is. Yeah, you know that. So as I said, we are not going to create any database. So I am selecting the second option, that is install software only. And now, what about Oracle home location? Even though it is not mandatory that the Oracle home location also should be same between the production server and the test server, but usually we maintain that as same. So what I am doing is, on the production server I am checking what is my Oracle home. So this is my Oracle home. So here also I am installing in the same location. So I am saying U01 or 11G. And as I said, this is not mandatory, but just to have synchronization, we are doing this. So let us wait for this installation to complete. Then we will start with the cloning steps.